Hi there, Pisces. I'm doing this reading roundabout for the energy of the new moon. We would have gone through the two eclipses by the time you see this, get this message. Also, it is a timeless reading, so if the title has attracted your attention for any of the Piscean placements, North Node, particularly I'm into the North Node, Moon, Rising and your Sun. Okay, and if you're here because you're a Venus Pisces, that's totally fine as well. Or even a cross watcher. All right, but without any further ado, let me do this reading for you. I've got three tarot cards, rather four, but I've got tarot cards, Light Seers Tarot on facing down, and I've got also the Surrender deck, two cards. So, firstly, what I want to do start with is I feel like some of you definitely have had some kind of ending. Okay, so this eclipse could have been sort of really pushed you to walk away from a situation or leave a situation, or perhaps you've lost, somebody's left you as well. There's been some kind of walk on situation that I'm picking up on as well. And I also feel that for some of you, I think you've got to a point as well that you're not willing to people please anymore either. Okay, so this walking on away from a situation is that you've had enough. Yeah, because also I've got here at the bottom of the deck, I've got the Ten of Swords. So somebody stabbed you in the back, somebody's actually lied to you, you're actually discovering certain things about yourself or somebody else. Maybe somebody's been bad mouthing you as well. Okay, this is not going to speak to everybody, but just be mindful that something could have happened that's left a trail of not a very good sort of feeling or bad taste. Okay, somebody's done something, backstabbed you, or you've had to sort of turn your back on a situation, because at the bottom of the deck here I've got the Ten of Swords. So I feel that that's definitely been an energy that's been around you as well, and certainly about what's really important, that you don't compromise yourself, okay, that you don't put yourself down, you don't dim your light in any way to be able to accommodate other people's negativity or toxic thinking or whatever they might have created. But let's see what the first card has here. So yes, so this is compounded by, you've got the Eight of Cups here. So for me, that's the same, got a very similar message here. So you can see she's walking away from that cup at the bottom. All right. Okay, now unlike the other Eight of Cups, this one has the one cup. I think the other ones have been sinking down into the pond. You can see sort of little black dots just there. All right, so in some way perhaps you've had enough, and maybe there's this one cup that's sitting here that has got the light, so you just know deep down there's something more that you can have, that there's something better out there for you. Could it be a person in a relationship, or maybe even a job situation, or maybe you've been working for somebody or alongside somebody, or partnered up with somebody at work, or some situation like that where you feel like, you know what, I'm not getting my needs met here, or I'm not being seen, valued, or appreciated for what I'm doing, and so I am happy to walk on. Some of you could have had that happen to you because of the eclipses. I really doubt it, but if it has happened to you out of the eclipse doing it for you, then just don't feel bad about it. Just know that the universe is working for you, and this is something that you're moving forward with. Let's open the second card. Yeah, so I think some of you definitely are deliberating. We've got the Two of Coins here, so you might have two choices to make, or now you're deliberating, should I stay, should I go? Maybe some of you, or you're actually even wondering what is going to fulfill me the most. All right, some of you could be at a standstill currently, having walked away from a situation, and you can't see your way forward exactly. There's nothing particularly on the horizon line. You know that you're going towards something brighter, something much more nourishing, something much more important, you know, fulfilling to you, but you are very much at that deciding point. Okay, what's important is you weigh up your options and really consider what is true for me from the interior, from your soul place, and from your heart. Okay, we do a lot of things from our minds, and while logic is really important, I feel like some of you, maybe it is now time to go inward and actually really notice what is going to spark you up, and what is going to really give you the most benefit in every way as well. So it's not only a financial benefit, but a kind of like a holistic benefit. What's going to really benefit your health, what's going to benefit your mind, what's going to benefit your body. Okay, so if you're compromising your body, say you're doing some laboring work and you're really finding it hard to do and you're afraid to leave that behind, then really it's a time for you to say, no, I need to honor my body, and what else can I do? What skills are transferable and where can I put that? All right. Some of you feel like we'll be reaching out to certain people as well and maybe asking for some ideas. Maybe it's a good thing to start brainstorming as well, that I'm picking up. So don't hesitate to ask people for your some help. Now I've got two cards here. They're on inverted, but they're absolutely wonderful cards as well. You know, you've got the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups as your kind of outcome. So if I were to read it on the upright, for some of you this could actually really mean that really kind of getting into your heart space. Okay, if I was to read it as your soul evolution, yourself, these my readings tend to be reference to the self, okay, rather than an external situation. But I read it in both ways because this could also really kind of correlate to a love relationship as well, particularly as we've got 3 cups here out of the 4. So it does signify very much an emotional time for you, a very watery time, a time where you've really had to tap into your emotions, getting your feelings, getting your bearings around your feelings, and really beginning to honor what your feelings are telling you. I think some of you have really gone through a situation and perhaps you could have been reactive before, but something has turned really and made itself very clear. It's like you've got to a point you cannot do the same thing over and over again. All right, so if we're to sort of, you know, some of you might need to bring a bit of emotional maturity into your space as well. So if you're coming from a weaker sense, or maybe from an inner child and not coming from the adult self, right, because it was inverted, right, you have the capacity to actually turn it over and really get into your heart and your truth. All right, there's a starfish there, and starfishes signify rebirth and regenerating. Okay, they will go on no matter what. So for example, if you were to cut off a starfish's sort of ligament or a segment, it will actually regenerate and continue on. So a starfish often signifies some kind of beautiful restart in your life. Now for some of you this could be also to do with an emotional relationship as well. Perhaps you're getting some sovereignty into yourself and maybe you can see things differently. Maybe you've had to let go of something as well, but I feel like you are able to see things a lot clearly, and you're going to actually be able to see what really nurtures your heart and your emotions. Okay, and I feel you are actually really going to go for it. So this is not going to speak to everybody, so if this resonates, take it, and if not, then do look at your other placements for a complete reading. I do feel though in some way that it is about time now that you literally go and capture what it is that you want. Okay, do not be afraid to move towards it as well. Okay, some of you could maybe be praying for it, manifesting it, or maybe envisioning it as well, and that is a really good thing. And perhaps you're going to see some of the results of your thought form and allowing something very positive to come into your life. This is compounded by, you have 2 cards here. Like I said, you've got the Ace of Cups as well, and this is she coming in to her heart space. So, despite the fact you maybe have had to walk away, or something's walked away or been taken away from you, but this, to me, more often than not, the 8 of Cups is very much a card of you taking charge and moving on, turning your back on things that no longer work, turning your back on friends who've not shown up for you, turning your back on people who say they're going to do something and not do something, and you've had enough. Okay, and this is qualified and quantified by the Ace of Cups. So here you are holding your own heart. It's like you've really earned your heart work. Okay, I'm not talking about hard work, your heart work. Okay, so this is really important that you bring your heart into everything that you do. You magnify your heart towards the things that give you heartfelt joy. Now, we know that in the world there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of difficulty, and a lot of swaying, and then this is going to continue for a few of us. There's going to be things coming out of the blue, things may be happening out of the blue, but if you stay heart-centered as well, you remain calm and you remain very well poised, as also this king reflects. Okay, he's sitting there quite poised. He's very calm, okay, and he's not in a hurry to move. And there's a sailboat in the background there, and also the sailboat signifies to me something just going with the flow, allowing the wind and the gentle tide to take you out to new pastures, or certainly moving you towards what you want, okay, or who you want. It's really important because the waters here are also very calm, so it's really important that you stay calm or just go towards any of the calmer areas of your life. Try and avoid drama, people, okay? You're going to get them. There's a lot of drama out there. We've also got some aspects currently in the skies that's going to actually really trigger some kind of anger, some kind of emotional upset for some people as well. Okay, so again, try and ignore it. You know, just know that they're doing the best they can. That's where they're at. You know, we don't need to be condescending, but we don't also need to jump in the ring with them and start fighting back and retaliating back, which is what's been happening on the collective in much more of a bigger level. It is, you know, we have to be the change we want to see. So it is really important that we start with where and who we are. All right. I always find that it comes to ourselves, and we're just one aspect of the bigger picture. So one by one, if we all do our bit, you know, really come to our center, come to our heart, and become more peaceful, we don't have to get into the war zone that other people are trying to provoke or do. Okay, what's interesting is here, I've got now one of your surrender cards, which I've just turned to. It says here, if you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, okay, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. So this also, I think, quantifies that. I was just saying about people getting into the war zone, thinking they're right. You know, you might even be coming from that stance saying, no, I'm right, and I have every right to think and feel and speak to you in this way, all right? Or you might be getting it from another external person. Very important that, again, try and remain flexible, all right, or remain seated and grounded. Really important, because when you're coming from that place of peace and the heart as well, you don't actually really need to be stubborn. You know, you can actually sort of just be flowing. You can just allow people to be where they are, and you can just, you know, even come from a communication that allows the other person maybe to have, I won't say to be right, but in somehow kind of reassure them that you understand that where they're coming from, and that you can totally see it from their point of view as well. But this is what my experience has been, and this is what my experience is, whatever it is in the dynamic. So you're actually creating a win-win situation rather than bringing your own agenda or your story. Okay, this is for some of you. So this is really important for some of you, that you relinquish the act or the thought of being over stubborn. Okay, whatever it is, just let go of the sword. All right, because at the back of you here as well, like I said, somebody's really sort of 10 of swords. This is when you've had enough. So perhaps you might want to avenge somebody, or feel that they deserve to have you deserve to get them back on some level. I really suggest that doesn't. This is exactly how wars start. You know, one tit for tat, or no, you've done this and I'm going to do that. This is really important, that you just lay your sword, yield into the situation, observe yourself, and just allow yourself to maybe communicate firstly with yourself, be loving to yourself, and sort of maybe acknowledge that you are feeling hurt, somebody's wounded you, attacked you, or been nasty to you. Heal yourself first, work with yourself first, and then you can actually reach out and then maybe be part of a conversation that could really help to sort of work through. You don't have to like them, you don't have to hang out with them, but at least you can create a peaceful resolution, okay, for some of you. All right, now the other way also, this is another beautiful card. You got two cards for here, is to yield and to certainly tap into nature. Okay, this is take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and ecstasy in nature. Okay, I always find I go out to nature all the time. It's my temple, it's where my God is, it's where I feel most at home, most soulful, and I get nurtured by being out in nature, whatever weather, really. As my really frizzy hair will attest, because of course it tends to get rained on, and it's really hard to keep the frizz from forming on the top of my head. In any case, I would still much prefer to worry and enjoy seek comfort in nature than over pampering my hair with hair products and all that, just to sort of make it look a certain way. So, you're going to get much more nourishment, I think, on a soulful level by going out to nature. Of course, there's nothing wrong with pampering yourself, making yourself feel good. But again, that's more of a superficial type sort of method of kind of making yourself feel good. It's very superfluous. It comes and goes. And if your sense of self is dictated by how you look all the time, then you're really going to be toppled over, because we can't always look our best. We can't always have, you know, really good coiffured hair or whatever it is. I don't know why I went into the hair thing, but I'm just talking about you find your replenishment out in nature more than anything else. Okay, so do take a breath, do take moments out. Rain or shine, you know, get wrapped up. There's something really cozy about keeping yourself warm, and just take some time out, if you like, out in nature. Okay, and that will also really bring into your heart. So if anybody's been experiencing any pain as well, going out to nature and really ask for the fairies or the angels out in nature to help you to heal whatever it is you need. For some of you, you could be experiencing a heartbreak, and maybe it's now time for you to come out and release the heartache and actually recycle it out back into nature as well. I will say that what I said to begin with as well, try not to people please, you know, just stop doing things for people or having to do things that works for them. Just make sure that if somebody makes a request of you and it's not something you maybe would have done, but if you really sit with yourself and you think, well, actually, you know, if I actually make these few tweaks here or there, I can actually maybe accommodate that person. So again, try not to hold and being stubborn, saying it has to be my way, or I'm going to stick to my agenda, my timetable. Well, I've made plans, and you know, like I said, there's something about flowing here that I want to say to you, Pisces. It's really important at the time, and you're normally very good at this, by the way, because you are actually a very deep intuitive water sign as well. So you are very good at going with the flow. But if some of you have suddenly become quite rigid or afraid to kind of break your patterns or your structure or your routine, allow for some flexibility and just trust your heart as well. Okay, so I think for you guys, I'm going to move to the Wisdom of Oracle deck as an extra card. I'm going to have a look at the bottom one. No, it's fine. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm just going to choose one if one doesn't pop out. You've got 3 that wanted to come out. There's quite a few here. Okay, some have got No Place Like Home, Not For You, Unfinished Symphony, and To Be Fair. So let's have a quick look. Yeah, I feel definitely this confirms the 8 of Cups. You know, you've had to move away from something that's not been serving you. Okay, maybe some of you as well feeling that something is not quite finished. Maybe you're still carrying the heartache, you know, because like I said, this did come out in the inverted. So maybe some of you still feel that there's some unfinished debris, unfinished healing. Okay, sometimes, you know, when we lose somebody that we really love, the eclipses have really brought a lot of deaths, a lot of losses as well. I actually lost my mother as well during the eclipse. She passed away 2-3 weeks ago. Anyhow, so these kind of feelings can come up unexpectedly. So again, you know, just know that it's a process as well for some of you. You know, if you've lost a loved one like I have, just allow. And some of you, maybe it's in a relationship sense as well, a partner, or maybe you've been thrown out of a company or a business, or maybe you've been let go of and you feel really upset about it. Perhaps go inward, like this King of Cups, who's got sovereignty over his heart and his emotions as well. Okay, now, you know, please do not think that you can't cry, or you think that you you know, have to hide your feelings. That is so not the case. All right, it's really important that you balance yourself. Okay, keep yourself balanced. This is not about necessarily being centered and being all stoic and having to be brave. Emotions are that. They are emotive. Emotions move. They need to move through us. All right, and something like a death of a mother or a father or a sibling or some major loss. Okay, now some people have really suffered some big losses recently with the whole thing that's been going on in Israel as well. And there'd be maybe people that you know, maybe you're here watching this and you've lost somebody very close to you. All right, it is really important that you honor your feelings as well, and just try and create some happiness, not happiness, some balance, so you can sort of stay within your own joy as well. Okay, because loss is part of life, and there's no rhyme or reason to feel kind of like, you know, it's really hard to say this, but if we accept that it is part of life, the death and rebirth life cycle, we can become a bit more accepting also of the loss. But at the end of the day, it's really important that we honor our feelings, okay, and really feel it. Now, one of the cards which I really love, I love the No Place Like Home. So again, some of you could really be moving towards this. And, you know, for me, this card is also about authenticity. It's about, who am I? How can I shine in the world? Maybe you had to remove yourself, like this Eight of Cups, you know, and to become more of who you need to be, okay? So I feel like some of you are moving towards where you will find that you belong, okay? And because this is on the coming into position to this reading, or this time, I feel like some of you have actually recently moved on from a situation. Maybe you moved flats, maybe you're moving, you're about to move, maybe you've discovered that somewhere is not for you, or maybe even somebody's not for you, but trust it, all right? And if somebody's caused you any harm as well about the change that you're making, or discovering that these certain people are not for you, again, yield, you know, your sword, put your sword down. No need to go down that road at all right? You know, just allow yourself to be, you know, like these what you call it, chess bits, you know, just stay poised, all right? No need to get into an attacking situation. Just balance yourself, okay? If somebody again's been unfair, you stay fair, you stay kind of resilient, and you stay really calm and collected. And perhaps you might have some insight as well. And my eyes have gone to the owl. So some of you might have some insight about the other person's psychology as well, or perhaps recognize that the heart is wounded. So therefore, you maybe need to be just a bit more generous and maybe kinder, but not at the expense of yourself not being truthful, but at least to be a container for the other person to be able to be how they need to be, even if they are being unfair, because life sometimes is not fair, as well, as we all know, or some of you could be learning, and maybe we just need to allow what needs to happen. Okay, I'm just going to check on the time. Yes, it's come up to the kind of end of the video. I'm going to leave the video here. I hope there was something here for you, Pisces. Thank you very much for coming back. For the returners, thank you. For the new Pisceans, or anybody cross-watching, if you're here, thank you for watching and listening. I hope there's been some message here for you from this reading. And yeah, I'll catch you in my next new moon video. Okay, I tend to release them around the new moon. Doesn't mean to say it's to do with the theme of the new moon, but just to give you a bit of heads up, the new moon is in Scorpio GMT time on the 13th of November, which is next week. We do have Mars in Scorpio as well, so there could be some, you know, kind of interior personal battle, again, depending on what Scorpio's in your chart as well. And we do have some strong astrological factors opposing that placement as well. So be mindful, okay? Something can come out of the blue. I will give you a bit of heads up. If some of you have been subject to something that's not been fair, stay centered in your heart, okay? Really important, and stay balanced. All right, so I will like to say, the reading here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in my next video. Bye for now. Bye.